My name is Will. I'm a sophomore and I'm a mechanical engineering major.
And you're tall.
My name is Tim. I'm a sophomore and I'm a human factors engineering major.
I'm Brandon. I'm a sophomore and I'm an EE.
I'm Emma. I'm a senior. I'm also an EE. You know, we often find ourselves either like listening to music in the car, or, you know, like tapping along to the steering wheel and stuff. And also I think like the driving console is a very like familiar, you know, we spend a lot of time driving, I think. So, you know where all the buttons are. It's just very natural. So we figured, what if we like combined those things and made a driving console that actually plays music? So there's 4 buttons on each of the 2 sides behind the driver's wheel, so you get 8 buttons total, which just like plays a scale. We have 2 like windshield wipers, like turn signals. So these are like 3 position switches, so we get 3 different scales, as well as 3 different channels, so 3 different sound banks pretty much. In the back we have a rotary encoder, which corresponds to this LED circle. So that's like the starting note for your scale. We also have different octaves here, which is just an LED strip, which corresponds to, we can octave up and octave down using the joystick left and right.
Like if you go left, it's a whole step down, whole step up for the like key that you're in.
Switches over here. Yeah, these are the LFO rates, and then a soft pot for pitch bend.
We had one test board. We measured out basically each component. So we had the joysticks, the toggles, and we like recorded all of the measurements for each piece. And then we did test cuts with the X-carve to see how well it would properly fit. We also had to cut this in half because the board's 3 feet long and it wouldn't fit all the way in the X-carve here or in NOLAP. So we cut it in half, and basically we just tracked all the measurements. Tim 3D printed these 2 pieces right here for the windshield wiper extensions. We also have a 3D printed piece on the back for the joystick.
Everything in here goes through Arduino. The LEDs are processed through Arduino's code, and then everything else uses an Arduino to Max thing that sends it over to Max. The way that the LEDs and stuff work is this just reads whether or not up or down or push and works accordingly. The way this works is it reads the rotary encoder. I went through and wrote the script to read the rotary encoder that controls that.
You wrote an Arduino script for that?
Yeah.
Very good. I can't believe how cool that circular LED is.
The arc reactor.
Yeah, we call it the arc reactor.
For each note within a scale, I kind of have a different sub-patch for note management, and that kind of controls like the channel, how I'm changing the scale and how I'm changing the starting note, so that's like the key that you're in. And within that, we have like 3 different patches for each of the scales that you can play, which is like a regular major scale, minor scale, and then a minor blues scale. I just did some logic here to make sure that it'll send bangs to the appropriate locations. And then did a pretty similar thing with the scale select, which has just got some gates. So it just routes the bangs properly. Now goes to the appropriate scale through these gates. Just for the switches and stuff here, these control LFO amount basically, and I kind of just set them to kind of sound like motors. These switches, the way I programmed it is basically it just like switches between sending 0 amount and then somewhere like around 90 for the LFO amount. For LFO 1, and then LFO 2 was something around 30, so it's like a lot less because the second oscillator we put mapped to the actual oscillator, so I didn't want it to go all willy-nilly. All the different pitch controls from commands, so like either scaling it up or scaling it down, is just through each of these buttons. I sent like a general bang out so that it would actually modify the physical number boxes within Max to like go up or down the octave. And just for managing noise here, I kind of just like set a cutoff. Like the noise is all under like 150 in values. So like anything above that, it'll read. But everything below it, it just like kind of ignores. The sounds here, I kind of crafted from some initial patches that I found in Subtractor for 2 of them. And then there's another patch in the N19, which I kind of crafted from some samples I found online. So this is our kind of motor one. This one's the motor. This one is kind of crafted to sound like a car horn, but it's like a synth car horn. got one of those samples.
There's more. There it is.
There's another one. So there's 4 different like car horn samples in it. Yeah, so that's one. That's another one.
There we go.
Yeah. You can switch between samples really fast, and you could like play a lot of fun stuff with that.
One thing we wanted to do, but we didn't really end up having time for, was we wanted to have like a gas pedal that would be sustain, which I think would be nice because right now, like if you hold down the button, it holds down the note, but it's not really, you know, it'd be nice to be able to just hold your foot down and have like a chord play out or something.
Especially for like controlling different parameters while you're doing
Right.
that. Yeah,
Right, to be able to hold it and then